Is the Nathan Jones effect a pro or a con? Welcome back to Where the Addicks Talk with myself, Luke, and alongside me we have got Dave, Timsy, Steve, and Chris. So, Steve, let's start with a game. Poor start and then also a poor finish.
Yeah, we didn't seem to get going for the first, 15, 20 minutes, and QPR took. They were obviously coming off a thumping from the previous week, so wanted to had a bit of a point to prove. And we just didn't get going, and it took a goal to go down before we started to do something in the final third. Bit fortuitous with the goal as well that we got. It was. I'm not even sure how it really went in from Rob Apter, but it did, which was fine, all good. But yeah, and then we just let ourselves down towards the end with the defending, giving the ball away on the halfway line and letting someone come all the way at you from there is unforgivable at Championship level.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Dave? Was it a game for lessons?
Yeah, I think. It's just we're just not clinical enough up front, and obviously that's shown with how many goals we've scored so far. And to be honest, when it was 1-1, QPR were there for the taking at this level, and we just didn't. I think it was Carey who had a couple of free kicks, and they were woeful. I don't understand it, but I just think at that level, we had a complete off day. I think, like Steve said, that second goal we conceded was just woeful.
Yeah, definitely. I think it also is very important, especially in the Championship, with how clinical you need to be, is creating chances needs to be happening on a regular basis, doesn't it, Timsy? And is that an area that you're a little bit concerned with?
It's more like converting them chances. We seem to we get the ball in good areas. We seem to create a chance or something. There's often good deliveries, especially from Rob Apter, but either the forwards already made the run and they're behind the ball and it's coming themselves running onto the cross. There isn't much really coming from midfield at the moment as like a late runner either. So it's sort of we're creating the chances. I'm not so worried about creating the chances. It's someone to actually finish them. Like if we had Godden for the last couple of games, I think we'd be speaking a very different outcome. Like Dave said, QPR was there for the taking, and we really did amp up the pressure higher up the pitch, and we just didn't really do anything with it. We got set play after set play, and very much unlike us, we didn't do anything with any set play.
Yeah, that's a big thing that you can get goals from, isn't it? Is set pieces and dead balls. When you start a game, Chris, that slowly and you can see quite early on, it really does affect the game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think we were very slow in right from the outset yesterday. We didn't seem to have the commitment. We weren't in their face as we certainly were against Leicester. Leicester was, I would call it, a good defeat. I thought we played really well, and it's just very unfortunate. Yesterday, throughout the team, we showed a number of weaknesses, I think. I don't think we actually played badly. For me, I think the substitutions were a little bit strange. And I think Nathan, he asks a lot to bring people on at 70 minutes. He doesn't do too many at 55 or 60 minutes. And I think that makes it difficult to have an impact on the game. But I agree with the guys. For me, I think Carey was, other than a couple of poor deliveries, he did a lot in the game, as did Apter. And to see them leave the park on 70, I thought that was difficult.
Yeah. I see you agreeing there, Steve. Do you think Nathan Jones was just too late making his substitutions?
Yeah, I couldn't get my head around the subs yesterday. I mean, I think he, in fairness to him, he got the starting lineup as most people would have put out. Having Lieberman up front after the performance he had against Leicester the other week was completely understandable, and leaving Kelman on the bench because he's either not got the confidence or he's just not in the swing of things at the minute with us. That all made sense, but just the subs in the game, just taking off your two for me, Carey and Apter were the ones who were making a difference and the ones who were probing and finding opportunities. Now, people have said they were tiring and they're not up to speed, but they were still doing more than some of the other guys on the pitch, and then leaving some of the other subs right until the 92nd, 93rd minute when, in fact, what are the guys going to do when they come on at that stage? It's just, you're already 3-1 down. And it was, I just was scratching my head. I didn't understand any of his 5 subs yesterday.
Yeah. I think going into the game, obviously coming off of what QPR had dealt with the week before, I think they were always going to come back with a little bit of desire in their tummy and something to fight for. Do you think also the London derby sort of feel had a part to play, Dave?
Yeah, maybe. I don't think we see QPR too much as a derby, but well, with this international break, it's going to give us a chance to work on those, practices, all the finishing up front, and I think all the players are going to be well up for the Millwall game, especially Olave. So I'm hoping he gets to start really, because he must be itching to make an impact. And like Steve said, putting him on for like 15 minutes, he's not got a chance.
Yeah, definitely. As Dave just said, obviously the Millwall game, that's the big derby, isn't it? That's the South London derby. Timsy, are you going into that game feeling confident?
I wouldn't say as confident as I was after the Leicester game. I mean, I think if there's a game where you got to change what happened at QPR, and a game where you got to commit to, I think Millwall at home is definitely going to have to be that one. It'd be interesting what Nathan Jones goes with the starting lineup, what we learned from last year. He didn't really change something we felt was working, but as soon as it wasn't working, that's when you started seeing tweaks to what he was starting with. I think having the international break probably comes at a good time to get the likes of, hopefully, Luke Berry and Godden maybe on the bench. If we can get Godden on the bench, that would be very interesting. But it'd be interesting how he tweaks the setup or the starting lineup to see if we can get some improvement.
Yeah. I mean, the international break, Chris, is very important. Obviously, some people spend it in Ibiza and some people don't. But the international break is really important for the squad, isn't it? Sort of get the players together. Nathan Jones can work on the team, don't you think, Chris?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's important just to reflect on what's happened in the last couple of games. Hopefully, by the time we get to Millwall, Nathan did say on the interviews, I think Thursday, Friday, that there could be a couple more people coming through the door. Will that impact? I don't know. But I think certainly the players are going to be up for it. I hope, to be honest, he starts Tanto alive. Give him his first start against Millwall. He's a big, strong player and aggressive, and I'd like to see him start. Nibs hasn't done it for me yet, although I've got to say I was out really delighted with him joining, and perhaps he needs a start as well. But Carey's been playing well, so the break will give us a chance to embed a bit more of what Nathan wants to do in the squad. After all, I think the only guys we probably lose, and correct me if I'm wrong, is really the Jamaican guys who are not featuring at the moment in the first team. So, obviously Amari is, but are we losing anybody else? I don't think we are. So, hopefully we'll be in a place where we can really work on that stuff. And, Nathan will not want to have 3 on the bounce, will he? And certainly he will be delighted if we can break the Millwall voodoo.
Right, well, you just mentioned the bloke, Nathan Jones. So I was having a scroll through Twitter on the last night, and mate, don't he wind every other fan up? And it just got me thinking. It made me think. Right, is having a manager with such a persona, is it a hindrance or is it a positive, Steve, for the club? Because other teams might come there and just give that extra 10% because it's Nathan Jones. What do you think? Do you see it as a pro or a con?
I see it as a pro when we're doing well, because it adds an extra buoyancy to the valley, particularly like the fans get behind it. Everyone kind of is on board with it. the issue is when we're not doing so well, and we might find this a bit more this season when teams are better teams are coming at us and nicking 1-0s, 2-0s. He looks a bit stupid at times when he's doing these things, and you're just like, oh, you're kind of setting yourself up here, mate. You're kind of letting yourself down a little bit at times. This is what I felt when he first came in. I thought in some of his interviews, it screamed immaturity when he first came in, and he just was it was the fear that we'd got the Stoke version and the Southampton version of Nathan Jones. He obviously built it up through last season. It came off really well, and it was working great towards the end of last season, where he got everyone on board and everyone rallying in the right direction. We started this season in the same way. I just hope if we do hit a trail of like 5 or 6 defeats in a row, which hopefully we won't, but it's possible at this level that he doesn't just go down the Nathan Jones rabbit hole and start screaming and shouting and swearing at everyone, because I think he's got it in his locker room to do that. What
about you, Dave? Do you care that he winds up the opposition fans, or is it something that you sort of just shrug off?
Well, it all adds to the atmosphere, doesn't it? At the end of the day, so it makes it good whether we're home or away. Do you know what? As much as he gets his critics and that, he's just he's such a passionate manager, and I'd give that for anything. For all the managers we've had in the past, he is so passionate. He is he's so in love with Charlton as a football club. So he's going to have his fiery moments because of that. And I can't. I wouldn't have it any other way, really.
Yeah, no. I think, like I said, I was having a little think last night. Is it a pro? Is it con? But I think it is a pro. It's good to have a man who's got a little bit of character there behind the team. But I think we should now look into the start of the season. Let's do a little review on what we think the start of the season. What do you think, Timsy? Has it been better than you sort of anticipated?
It was always a hard one to judge how it was going to go to start with anyway, how the new players were going to bed in. And for me personally, I feel we're at where we should be. I think after the first game, we were going to get top 6. After Bristol and then Leicester, they were both really good performances. And then Saturday was that kind of like bit of the kick. It's not going to be as easy as we thought. But we kind of saw this a bit last season at the start. You've got 9 players who are coming. We've got to bed them. We've got to settle them. They've got to learn the way Nathan Jones works, half of them as well. So I think when we get to like the Christmas, November time again, we're going to start seeing more consistency. I think at the moment we're going to see the bit of the inconsistency we're seeing at the moment. And I think once then we'll be fine and we'll be flying. But I think we just got to be calm and not let the defeats get to us too. And as some people say, don't get the highs too high and the lows too low.
Yeah, that's very sensible words. What about you, Chris? Are you happy with the start of the season?
Yeah, I've got to say yesterday I was very happy because I think we played really well and were competing in all 3 games. And the Leicester one had the referee decision gone our way, then we'd have come away with a point. Yesterday was just a little bit disappointing. So what we got? We got 4. Is it 4 points? Yeah. I think I would have probably said I worked it through, and I actually thought we'd win our first home game. Then I thought we would lose at Bristol City and lose at home to Leicester as we did. But I thought we might sneak a win. So I was sort of between 4 and 6 points. I thought we'd perhaps beat QPR because they had a pretty bad season. And when they lost 7-1 the week before to Coventry, I thought, we could be in for a win. So what do I know? I know nothing, do I? So, so 4 points. Yeah, it's there or thereabouts. The key thing, the first 3 games we competed. And as Nathan said, he showed that we have got a squad that can compete. The reality of it is, as I think Dave said right at the start, we've got to score goals. We've only got 2 goals and we've had lots of chances. So I think we've got players who create the chances. We just got to have players who are going to stick them in, and so that's really where we've got to go. Just got to make sure we continue to create and put them away.
Yeah, that actually brings us nicely on to tweet of the week. So, tweet of the week is actually something that you guys have sort of brought up yourselves, and it goes toothless up top again. A real lack of quality in the final third is killing us. It's time for Jones to make some changes. So, Steve, what is the answer? Is it different players starting? Is it just time? Is it just going to take a little bit of time to get the team together?
I think it's a mixture of all of that. I mean, for me, I think it's the elephant in the room at the minute is TC. There's some fans who still think he should be given a chance. Personally, I think it's time to move him to the bench. I'm just not seeing. I don't think he's physically strong enough at the minute for the championship. He's getting in some good positions. He's sometimes putting some good balls in. The problem I find with him is that you for every 5 deliveries, like 4 of them will fly off into God knows where. He's okay, but I think it's time to start looking at some of our options. Tanto, as I think someone said earlier, is chomping at the bit to have a start. He hasn't started yet in the league for us, and I think it's time to give him a go. Maybe him and Kelman up front to just see if those two gel together or something. We just need to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net, and maybe it's time to give Nibs a go up front, up top as well, just to see what he can do. But yeah, all the ingredients are there for a good strike force. We've just got to find our feet in the championship, because at the minute it's hard going. Yeah,
definitely. But I think all in all, it's been a great start to the season. A lot of positives, I think, and a few lessons in there. That's what it's all about. So yeah, I really appreciate your time, boys. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Timsy. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Steve. And thank you everybody for watching at home. Please like and subscribe.